Hello, welcome to this Civil 3D corridor modeling tutorial. In this video we will give fancy look to corridor that we modeled in our previous videos. I will come to our assembly and we'll click on the sub-assembly, and then we'll come to sub-assembly properties, and then I will come to parameters and link codes. And I can see that there are three codes which have been applied to this subassembly: top, comma, datum, comma, cut m. I will add a new code. I will call it since this subassembly is in cut conditions, so I will call this as cut plan underscore fancy. You can call it and you can give it any name you want. Cut plan fancy. I don't want to give underscore. Okay, so it is called cut plan fancy, and I will copy it, and then I will press OK. I will come to the second subassembly. We'll go to subassembly properties and then to link codes, and we'll add that same code applied to this one. I will copy it over here and we'll press OK. Then I will click on this subassembly, which will only appear in fill conditions only. So I will come to subassembly and we'll come to parameters, link codes, and I will press comma and will enter, and then I will change its name to fill plan fancy. I will call it fill plane fancy, and I will copy it so that I can paste it somewhere else as well. Okay, I will click on this guy and we'll go to subassembly properties, parameters, and then link codes, and then comma, and I will enter the thing from the clipboard and will press OK. Once this is done, then I need to come to my prospector, right click the corridor and rebuild it. Rebuilding is essential. If you make any changes to your assembly, you need to rebuild your corridor. Then I will come to my corridor properties, and then I need to come to feature line. I just need to turn off the display of all feature line. This is really important. And then I will come to codes, but instead of doing this I need to create two layers, because we will be making use of AutoCAD functionality as well. I will press LA for layer. I will go to layer, and then we'll add two new layers. Okay, I will call this layer as C cut plan underscore fancy. Cut plan fancy. Okay, we'll copy it and we'll change its color to red, and we'll make the this is really important, this transparency I will change it to, let's say, 60. Okay, and then I will create a new layer. I will call it fill plane underscore fancy, and we'll change its color to green, and we'll keep and we'll change the transparency to 60. We need to change this to 60 as well. I just missed it. Okay, so we have two layer, cut plane underscore fancy having a transparency of 60, and then color red, and then we have another layer called fill plane underscore fancy having a color green and transparency of 60. I will just drag these to this group filter that I have created for myself, so it is easy for me to make further changes in CAD environment. Okay, these two layer have been brought over here in this group filter, and then I will just close it. Okay, now I will come to my corridor, will right click, come to properties, and then since all these feature lines are already off, so I will come to codes and will change the code set style. This code set style that I have is plain only code set style. I will just click on this button so that I can make changes to it, and then we'll press this import codes. Every time you add new codes to your assembly, you need to press that import code button so that you can make these new codes applied over here as part of your code set style. So I will just make a window selection, will press enter, and then if I click on this plus guy, I should be able to have those new codes over here. Okay, so I have cut plane fancy and fill plane fancy codes imported in my list. I will just click this top guy and the lower guy, and will press anywhere over here so that style all links are set to no display. And then same, I need to make now changes to this column called material area fill. I will come to cut plane fancy link, and will change its material area fill style to something. I will call it let's make a copy of this palette and make a new style for this cut plane fancy. I will make a copy of it and I will call it cut plane fancy. Okay, and then I will go to display, and I will make sure that it is set to plain, because this style I need to specify only for plain. So by the way, what I can do is that I can come to model and turn all these off, and as well as for profile, and then even in section, because I don't want to show things by using this style in sections or profile. I just want to make it specified for plan only, so I will be doing my changes in plan only, and I will keep the other bulbs in section, profile, and model. I will keep it off. I will keep the bulb off, and in plane I will turn off this guy called shape border line. I will just turn off it, and shape area fill is something that I need to play with. What I can do is that shape area fill, I will click on this layer button and will change the layer that we created just a few minutes ago. Okay, so since we are doing cut plane fancy style, so I'll be cut plane fancy. I need to look for that layer that is there. Cut plane, there it is. Cut plane, but not this one. Cut plane fancy, I think. Excuse me, I just need to look for that cut plane fancy. There it is. I will press OK, and then I will come to this color and I will change this to by layer. Okay, and then we'll press, and I need to make sure that the pattern is solid, and we'll press OK and OK. Then I need to come to fill plane fancy, and I will change it to cut plane fancy, and I need to make a copy of it so that I can call it fill plane fancy, and I just I will come to display and will come to shape area fill, and this time I will change the layer to cut fill plane C dash fill plane underscore fancy. I have changed the layer, and I will press OK and OK and OK, and then again OK. Then I will come to my plan view. I can see that now fill pattern is being shown in the form of solid hatch, and then cut pattern is being shown in the form of solid hatch as well. Then I can come to my corridor, go to properties, and come to feature line and select all feature line and show them. Okay, once you do this, you will see this slope pattern applied to it. For those who is watching my first video, they can make this slope pattern if you watch my previous videos. In our previous video, we described a method of how we can introduce this slope pattern in our corridor. So now you can see that our corridor has both fill pattern to it, and then there is a slope pattern as well. So hopefully you like this video. If you have any question, please put your question in the section below. Thank you so much for watching the video.